Wanted to talk to y'all about a little theory that I come up with, and for the sake of this video, we're going to call it the Hawgthagoream theorem. How about y'all? You got Hawg. Thanks for stopping by. So, with the launch of Starfield, Diablo 4, Baldur's Gate, Remnant 2, all these brand new games that have come out, and all the different reactions that everybody's had, and good and the bad, the negative, the ugly, the terrible, the horrible, the awesome, the epic, whatever the deal is, that made me think, are we ever going to actually be satisfied with games? Are we ever going to have that feeling again that we used to have? Probably not. I think, besides maybe a handful of games and a handful of people, majority of these games and majority of the opinions coming out about said games are negative. And that just may be because the meta on YouTube is to always be negative, or it just may be because the games suck. But I think it boils down to something else. I think really what it is we're chasing a feeling that we used to get with video games that no longer exist or is no longer possible to achieve. And that's what I mean by the Hawgthagorean theorem. Because let me break it down a little bit so y'all understand. Gen X experiences this maybe a little bit more than we do as millennials, but I'm a millennial. I'm 36. I was born in the late 80s. I think guys that are my age, a little bit younger, and maybe touching into early Gen Z, we all experience this and we just don't understand. But so, if you play video games since you were a boy, like if we look at the console side, you went from 8-bit Nintendo to Super Nintendo to Nintendo 64 to Nintendo GameCube, just to use that as an example. You went from Sony to PS2 to PS3, PS4, right? Computers, you went from 286, 386, 486, Pentium 1, et cetera, et cetera. I played not all games, that's a very broad statement. I played a lot of games on a lot of platforms, primarily PC, but also on PlayStation and PlayStation 2 and Xbox. I'm an Xbox man once I converted over when they released it. The point I'm trying to get at is we experienced a lot of innovation. We experienced a lot of new. We experienced a lot of holy shit moments where we had never seen shit done in a game before. Like, it's a perfect example I like to use is Grand Theft Auto 2. Grand Theft Auto 2 was a top-down view. You looked down and ran around, and the bullets went like tracing on the screen. It was really weird, but it was a lot of fun when you were 9 or 10 years old. You didn't know any better. Well, then all of a sudden, GTA 3 came out. And it was like night and day difference. It was like the most revolutionary thing you'd ever seen because you actually became your character, no longer looking at it like a board game almost. So that's what I'm referencing. We lived through the innovation of adding internet to the game. I remember when the original Xbox came out and had an Ethernet. Hell, my damn Dreamcast had a dial-up adapter on it. And that's how we used to be able to cruise around and look at nudie pictures online without your mom using that your search history. So we experienced a lot of innovations in games. Games like you went from like Laraboe to, so I'm gonna drop some really kind of secret titles here to see if some of y'all were some Sierra players. I always love when I hear some Sierra players in the comments, but you go from titles like Laraboe, Dagger of Amon-Ra, which I actually own a big box copy sealed in the box. And my favorite game of all time, probably. You go from that to like Myst. Okay, you have a drastic change in innovation. You go from things like, look at Fallout. Look at like Fallout 2, Fallout 3 compared to Fallout 4. I know I'm missing a lot of, look at the Pokemon games, look at the GoldenEye. Just look at all of that. You never had first-person shooter. So we got to experience all of that, y'all. We got to experience Half-Life, WoW, Diablo 2. And so I think let's look at Diablo 2. Me and my buddy Eros talk about this a lot. We have this fantasy as Blizzard players that Diablo 2 was the most perfect game that was ever released. And it wasn't. It was a fun game and the replayability value was amazing and all of that. But if you played Diablo 2 back in the day, you would know that it wasn't perfect, that there were patches that came out like 1.11 and 1.09 like shit that killed the game. Like if you remember playing in like 1.08, where you could go get in the cow level and go stand behind a Javazon and let her run around and completely wipe the whole cow level, and your experience would go through the roof and you can get power leveled in no time. That's why it's funny to me when I hear people say they never had any 99 characters. Well, you obviously didn't play the game very long then, because I mean, there were certain times of that game where you could have a bunch of 99s. It wasn't no problem. So we look back on games like that with this fondness and how perfect it was, when in reality it really wasn't. And I think that's part of the reason why we can't have fun now. And we're so critical about these games. Y'all, people are so critical about Starfield. Well, let's look at that situation. Majority of games today are just repeatable cookie cutter games that the companies know that they can repeat and make money off. The perfect example is Call of Duty. Well, if you're not going to innovate, you just know people are going to buy the title because it's going to have guns. It's going to be just, the only thing you're going to change in it is World War II, Vietnam, or whatever the deal is. Put some different skins, different maps, call it a new game. We got it from Diablo 4. Rename the things, put different skins and monsters and an open world and resell it. There's no innovation. But look what happened to Bethesda when they tried to be innovative with Fallout 76. I'm not going to sit here and defend the game, but I think we need to be a little easy on Bethesda and at least give them, a pat on the back for trying to be out of the box, right? I mean, yeah, it was a flop, but even though I've got it installed now and I tried it a couple days ago and it actually seemed pretty fun, I didn't understand what it was. Obviously, they fixed it. I didn't understand what the problem was. But when they launched that game, it was a shit show. And everybody crucified them, and this is stupid. Why'd y'all do this and that? And it's like, God damn, we cannot be satisfied. So instead of taking another risk, they went the other way and made a repeatable cookie cutter thing that they know they could sell copies off of. And y'all, Starfield ain't a bad game. As long as you didn't pre-order for $100 and you did the Game Pass, you could get this game for the price of the Game Pass plus. Can't say certain words together because they'll slur together like I'm drunk or something. It's so embarrassing. If you had the Game Pass, it was only like $35. So if you look at it that way, factor in the price of the Game Pass, $45. Okay, it's a pretty damn good game. But it ain't innovative, and there's nothing new. In the comments and the stuff that I'm hearing from people is, it's Fallout 4, but in space. Well, yeah, of course it is. Call of Duty is just Call of Duty with another war. They know it's repeatable and people will buy it and have fun with it. And they're not going to take another risk because we crucified them over it. I don't know. I hope I didn't lose y'all too bad. But I guess the main point I'm trying to make is we live through so much innovation and so much groundbreaking changes in the video game industry that maybe we've just reached the pinnacle and there's no more innovations that can be done. I mean, we've watched kind of virtual reality headsets come and go. Those never took on. We saw like 3D televisions never really take off. All of that stuff they've tried to introduce to us as innovation, we haven't taken to. We're almost like the stubborn fat child that sits in the corner, has everything he wants, and then when they try to do something new because he's so spoiled and bring us something new, we got turn our nose up at it. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments, good or bad, what you think. You think we can ever be satisfied with a game? And I know there's some of y'all are going to say, well, Hawg, this game's great, but I'm just talking about gaming overall in general. I feel like, I don't know, maybe we've reached the pinnacle. Maybe it can't ever be good again. Maybe we're doomed to just, or maybe it's just a consequence of getting older. Maybe that's the deal too. But anyway, we're going to go back to streaming Path to Exile on Twitch because Starfield's a lot of fun and all, but we really want to get back to being more engaging. And I really like playing the ARPG type games, and I really like playing Path to Exile, and we got some more builds and stuff to try. So y'all come back, follow me on Twitch for Path to Exile. We're going to do that. Of course, I love when chat comes in, tries to tell me how to do everything, and we're trying to fix this witch and try to do a bunch of other stuff. But anyway, follow me on Twitch. Make sure to join the Discord. Links in the description below for the House of Hawg. We ain't mile, we wild. We'd love to have you over there. Make sure to hit like and subscribe for more Hawg content. We'll see you next time.